So the next question is, how do I prove ties to home country as an F2 student? I think we talked a little bit about it, but can you explain further how we can prove ties?
Yeah, so essentially it depends on, again, it is not too far away from what the F1 student would necessarily do or say, right? It's not too far away. It revolves around the same thing. So if you're attending the interview together, proving ties is essentially even easier, because whatever your husband says as, this is my goal, this is my dream, whatever the F1 student says, right? This is my goal, this is my dream, this is what I'm going to do. That's essentially what you align yourself with as an F2 student, and say, yeah, I'm going to be with my spouse, and when my spouse is returning back to come and take this job, then we are coming with him or her to come and take
and
that.
Paul,
So
I think that is also a good time to show to the consoler that you know the plans of your husband. You guys have been talking together. You guys have plans together.
Yes.
And I think that's where, as a spouse, you come in to say, oh, we've planned that after he studies, you come and take up a job in this oil company, or you come and take up a job in his father's company in Ghana, and we will return back in Ghana. Besides, we plan to have our case in Ghana. Besides, we plan to develop our my parents' land that he gave to us. I think that's where you share your plans,
more of your dream and goals
as
plans.
A family to the consular. Now, I want to ask this one. When we go for the interview together, assuming I'm now coming as an F1 student, I'm going to the interview with my wife. Is it not very risky, especially when it's come to question and answers, when we give contradicting answers to one question? For example, is it that the consular is going to interview us together? And there are times I know consulars may ask individual questions for us to respond individually. They can separate us and ask us individual questions just to show that we know what we are about. How do you think we should go about this category and this situation?
So let me say this. So the consular will only separate you if they suspect that your relationship is not genuine, and that one person is faking a relationship so that the other person can come to the US with him or her. So if your relationship is not genuine, then that might happen. But most of the time, for students, like I said, I did not go together with my spouse. So my experience doesn't matter in this case. But I know a lot of other F1 students who went together with their spouses on F2. And they were interviewed at the same time, but one at a time.
Yeah.
Right? So both of them were standing there, and then the F1 person would answer questions, and then the F2 person would answer the questions, the set of questions, right? It's at the same time. So you the F2 student, you are hearing everything that the F1 student is saying, essentially, right? So even if you don't discuss certain details, you are there, and
you have to be smart about it.
The tricky thing is, yes, you have to be smart. The tricky thing is when they separate you guys, and that extreme, that would not happen unless they suspect that the relationship is already not genuine and they want to really establish the genuinity of the relationship. The other thing in our case, which can happen too, is that I was already gone. I was already in the US. Right? So I'm basically like with questions like our relationship was genuine. We weren't worried about like whether she was going to say the right things about our relationship. What probably was a little concerning was to the extent to which she understands what my studies is about. Because usually, if we are both in different fields, she's in medical, I'm in, Bible, completely different humanities program, right? So the extent to which she understands my field and what I'm doing and the plans that I have is important in this situation, because it's not a primary field that she understands. So that's where we had a lot of conversations. So you make sure that you feed your other spouse or your other partner more information about what exactly you're doing and where you're going to go and how that is going to be clear enough, and quiz yourselves.
So basically, you have to prepare together, whether you are going together for the interview or one is already gone and one is going after. You have to prepare together. You shouldn't say, "Oh, she's my wife. Let's go for the interview." No, every preparation, if possible, every mock interviews that you go, she must be part of it. All the videos you watch, all the things that you get exposed to, she must also get exposed to, so that no one is taken by surprise when you go for your interview. I hope this helps a lot of people.
Let me add this. just recently, a few months ago, one of my very close friends, a PhD student as well in Potsdam, the wife got the F2 recently, just about 3 weeks ago. And before that, they got their appointment about 2 years ago. And so all that while, they were, sort of preparing and coaching each other and having a lot of discussions about how to answer some of the detailed questions. So everything that the husband is doing, in that case, the spouse also, knew to a good extent whatever is going on and was prepared to answer any questions at all. So essentially, prepare together, have a lot of discussions, quiz yourselves a lot to make sure that you both have the same information that is not contradictory.